Hello everyone, Marc here. I'm going to show you a couple activities today where we're going to be doing some dribbling and we're also going to be doing some tossing and catching. All right, so today I'm using a bouncy ball. If you have a bouncy ball, it's great. If you don't have a bouncy ball for dribbling, you may also use a tennis ball. If you have some type of bouncy tennis ball, fantastic. If you don't have a tennis ball or a bouncy ball, if you do use a golf ball, you have to be very careful because they're very hard and they do bounce all over. And preferably if you're using a golf ball outside, watch out because you can't hurt yourself. They're very hard. So we're going to first start off with dribbling with a bouncy ball. All right. So what we're trying to do is when we're using our balls, make sure it has enough air. And when you do drop it or bounce it, that it does have enough to bounce back up to you. So see, as I'm still dropping and catching it. Okay. Pretty easy. If I'm using my tennis ball, same idea, dropping it, trying to catch it. You can use both hands or one hand as I'm doing. See, if I'm using the golf ball, you know these things bounce back and they can't hurt you. So look, I'm dropping and I'm just trying to catch, but I'm being very careful, keeping my eye on the ball. Okay, so I'm going to first actually start off with my bouncy ball on my dribbling activity that I'm going to show everyone. And the first thing I'm going to do with my ball, if I have a good bounce, have a place where I could dribble and bounce somewhere near me. And I'm just actually pushing the ball down, whether I'm using both hands at the same time, pushing down, or I'm using one hand, and I'm making sure I get a good push off the ball, pushing it down. So I also want to practice dribbling back and forth. So I'm going left hand to right hand. As you see, got a good couple dribbles back and forth. I'm also trying to see when I'm dribbling, once I get used to where the ball is coming back to my hands, I want to try and see if I can get better and better at it and trying to dribble without looking at the ball. So I'm trying to push the ball down, feel for the ball where it's coming back to my hand, pushing down and back. All right. Same idea if I'm using my tennis ball. Okay. My tennis ball, I'm trying to see if I can get my ball to get back to me, whether I'm catching the ball or pushing it down and catching it with using both my hands. Or I can go ahead and try it once I get used to where it's coming back, trying to dribble and get the ball without looking at it. All right. Just trying to have a feel for it. So once I get my dribbling down, with any of my balls, whether it's my bouncy ball, my tennis ball, I may even try with my golf ball. It's a lot harder, but I'm keeping my eye on it. Much harder. It bounces all over. So you got to please be careful if you are using a golf ball. So I'm going to show you a little bit more with the bouncy ball. If you do have a bouncy ball, fantastic. If not, find a ball somewhere, either at a store or if you have something around your house that has a really good bounce, and preferably find an area where you're outside and you have enough room to dribble and bounce where you're not going to run into things or your ball is not going to hit things and knock it over. So first thing I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get the ball back and forth across my body by pushing down on it. So I'm pushing. The harder I push, the more of a bounce. All right. Once I get pretty good at it, I'm going to try and see if I can get the ball to be going in a circle all the way around. Dribbling, I can look at my ball this time. I can also try and see if I can get the ball under my leg. So I'm lifting my leg up. Get a good bounce as I lift my leg, bounce under, lift my leg, bounce under. Got the idea. Once I get really, really good at my dribbling, I'm going to try and see if I can get around my body so my body stays still. To my right side, I'm trying to give it a good push behind my body, looking at it, push, and then try and swing around and get it around my body. So I'm going all the way around my body. I'm pushing, getting it all the way around. I'm going to maybe try the opposite direction. So I'm going around this way. I'm giving a push to my other arm. And a push to my other arm. Get a couple around the body spins. I'm also going to try and see if I can dribble in front of me. Give it maybe a quick spin and continue dribbling. Pushing my ball. I can try with my tennis ball as well. A little harder, but I'm going to try it. See how good I am at it. Get it around my body. One bounce to the other side. And I'm pushing it down. Same idea with under your leg. You can bounce, catch under my legs, as you see. Or I could just try and see if, I could get it all the way around my body to my right side or my left side. A little harder. So try and find a ball or get some kind of bouncing ball that you can have that comes back to you. The more you push it down, harder you push it down, the harder it comes back. All right. Practice dribbling high and low. So I'm dribbling higher up in my body. Pushing it down higher. I'm going to go a little lower, squatting down, getting the ball really low to the ground. I can switch arms back and forth. So you see, I could try getting figure 8 around my leg. So going low, around one leg, going around the other leg, figure 8s, all right? Practice your dribbling. If you get better and better at dribbling, you could get so good at it that you're almost not even looking at the ball when you're dribbling. You're feeling where the ball's coming back to your hand, and you're having an idea of how hard you have to push the ball for it to come back up to your hand, okay? So those are some of the dribbling and bouncing activities that you may try at home if you have a bouncy ball, if you have a tennis ball, or if you have the golf ball. Got away from me. All right, so another thing that I'd like everyone to try, whether you have a ball or not, if you don't have a ball, these are catching and throwing activities we're going to do a little bit of. If you don't have a ball, you may use something that's a little softer. Do not use the golf ball because it can come down and hit you, and it's very hard. You can use a bouncy ball. Some of you might have some type of stuffed animal or something that's softer at home. So we're going to be doing some tossing and catching first with one hand. So I'm putting my hand under the ball as it comes, trying to stop it with one hand. So I'm going to toss it up with both hands, kind of using my hands up and using one hand underneath to try and catch it. So I'm throwing it with both, catching it with one. Throw it with both, try and get my hand underneath the ball, slow it down and try and see if you can catch it with one hand. So again, toss it with both, catch it with one. Same idea with the tennis ball. You can either try and use one hand under the ball, tossing and catching, whether you're using your right hand or your left hand. Toss, catch, toss, catch. Once you get the idea of how to toss and catch the ball underhand with one arm, then you can try and see if you can try tossing up to the left hand and try and stop it to go down to your right hand. So I'm slowing it down. I'm tossing with one hand, bringing it down, tossing my left hand to my right hand to left hand. I'm trying to slow it down. A little tricky. A little easier if you do have a smaller ball. Smaller ball, I can toss it up, try and grab it, toss it up, try and catch it. So we're trying to see if we can get the ball, whatever you might have, and catch it underhand with one hand, all right? You can use both hands, try and stop it with one hand, all right? So now what we're trying to do is get our ball, whatever it might be, we're going to throw them a little higher in the sky. We're going to try and see if we can get it really high. Same idea, we can try and catch it with both hands. So first thing I'm going to try and do is practice by getting a nice high toss. Try out of screen, and I'm catching it. Came on back down. Try and toss it up, keep my eyes on it, back down. Bending my legs a little bit to get a higher throw. So I'm bending my legs and tossing it up. Here it comes. Got it. All right. So a couple good high bounces. Once you get pretty good at it, you want to see how many claps you can get and still catch it. Okay. So I'm still using both hands, throwing it up really high. See how many claps I can catch, how many claps I can make before I catch the ball. So I'm doing claps and catch. So I'm going to try and see if we can get up to 5 now. Here we go. So I'm bending my hand, bending my legs, have my hands on the ball, keep my eyes on it, tossing it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and catching it. I'm outside, so I do have enough room to throw the ball up. If you're inside, you could probably only get like 3 or 4 claps. But see if you have an area outside where you could participate or practice, or if you have somebody that maybe you could participate with and try playing against them. See how many claps you get. And I'll try and see if we can get 6 in on this one. So I'm putting the ball low, giving a nice toss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7. Using my legs, tossing it up, catching it. Same idea if I have the tennis ball. I don't have to use both hands because I have a good grip on it, but I'm trying to see if I can toss the ball up really high and either catch it with both hands, or if I think I'm good enough, I can catch it with one hand. So here we go. I'm going to do first a toss up and caught it. Now I'm going to see how many claps I can get in. Ready? Here we go. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I caught it. All right. So not bad. Now I'm going to try and see if I could get a toss high in the air. I'm going to do a whole 360 rotation around. Try and catch the ball before it hits the ground. A little more tricky, but let's see if I can do it. You can also try it at home. So I'm going to take my ball, tossing it up, 360 spin, and catching it. I kind of keep my eyes on the ball as I'm spinning around, which helps unless you're fast enough to spin around and catch it before it bounces. Try it one more time. Here we go. Up, spin around. That one was kind of a bad throw. So I'm trying to make sure I get a good throw right above my head or right in front of me so I can try and catch that ball before it comes down. Try one more time. Here it goes. In, up, spin around. Whoop. Just caught it in time. Barbecue saved me. Okay. So a couple things that I would like you to try. Try and see if you can get yourself a ball, whether it's a bouncy ball, tennis ball or some type of bouncy ball or a golf ball, some kind of ball that you can practice dribbling, throwing, and catching. We're practicing underhand catching. We're practicing dribbling without looking. We're practicing high and low dribbling, really up high, down really low, trying to even through your legs. You can lift up your legs, or you may go under your leg. You may try to round your body all the way around to the other side. And we're trying catching and throwing, one hand catching to the other. And then we're trying up high, slowing it down. And we're trying up high spins and up high catches. All right. So these activities you could try if you have a bouncy ball. If you don't have a bouncy ball, try and practice some of the catching and throwing, underhand catching, stopping and slowing whatever object you have down, and having fun. You could play with somebody, or you could try to see how many claps you could get, or see how good your dribbling skills are. All right. So these are some activities that you can try, whether you're using a bouncy ball, whether you're using a tennis ball, or whether you're using some type of golf ball or something like that. But please be careful if you are inside, and have fun and see how good your dribbling, bouncing, and catching skills are. Have a good afternoon wherever you are, and I'll see everyone soon. Bye.